Hello and welcome back to the channel. So on today's video I'm going to take you through my planning process and how I plan my training blocks towards a big race. So the first thing that I do is I stick in the runs that I know that I've committed to. So they might be runs with friends, they might be events, just anything like that. I kind of put them in, even if it's things that don't include running. So things that mean that I won't be able to run on that day. It's always important to have them in, like dates in the diary. So if you know you're not going to be able to run, you don't plan yourself to run, because if not you just end up feeling guilty and just pressing it all in. I don't really want that. Obviously, after you've planned things, things might still come up, and that's fine. This training plan is basically like the perfect version of what my training might look like. And so if I do start feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on, it's something to be focused on. So if you do start losing track of it, you know what should be happening and where you should be getting that time from and when these things should be happening. After I've popped those in, so that's the dates that mean I can't run or that I've already got runs planned, I will then pop in what my actual goal is. So for this block, I'd like to try and run a half marathon in under 1 hour 40. So that means running at a 4:42 minutes per kilometre pace throughout the whole race. So that is my main goal. I'm going to put that above every single month. And then I'll just go in and highlight any weeks/days that might be different to usual, so that don't follow like a normal schedule. So these might be school holidays, bank holidays, trips that you're taking, so that when I do plan these in, I can work around them. So if I need to increase the training that week, or if I need to decrease it because it's like I'm going away, then it's just more likely to help my commitment and like I'm actually going to be able to do it. I try as much as possible to keep it consistent because I know routine works for me. But obviously, if you know that during the school holidays you've got loads of things to be doing, then maybe running takes a backseat those weeks. So knowing that that's going to happen in your training, you're not trying to squeeze it all in, obviously just makes the plan work. means you're forward planning. So I next like to put in my rest days. So these are the days that I'm not scheduling a workout or activity, to make sure that I'm not doing something every single day, because that can just be so much and so monotonous, and then you you lose track of everything, and then you're always sore and you're always thinking, oh, what's next, and you never really have time to decompress. So I do like to schedule these in first. On these days I may do something gentle like a walk or maybe some yoga, but I don't really try to do anything on these days, because the days off are just as important as building up your muscle/strength as it is when you are doing something, because that's the days when your muscles repair themselves and make themselves a little bit stronger. I then start with the easy runs to plan. So these are the runs that don't change week on week, or if they do change, they change very little. So most Saturdays I go and do park runs, so that's rarely going to change, and so I can easily just pop that in. Then I do the next easy one, which is just an easy run on a Thursday. And throughout the training plan, I'm going to build these up a little bit and decrease them just before the race, just to get in some extra volume, because I find that I don't get too tired. So I can do a little bit of base work in them and just increase a little bit throughout the whole time. So I'm going to go from a 5k to a 10k and then back down just before the week. Then strength or cross training is also a nice easy one just to plug in there, as you don't need to think too hard about the contents, because I follow like a YouTube video or do a live class or just take my bike out on my commute instead. I did used to try and plan these, and make like a workout program where you like build up your weights every single week, or you're building your reps and things, which is like probably part of my personal training like qualification coming in, but it just became too much. You're like planning your runs, you're planning your workouts, and you're always planning something, and it's just so much to think about that now I just flick between doing like somebody else's workout, because it just offloads it a little bit and it actually gives you time to do something. And even if they're not like super specific to me, it's still better than doing nothing. I guess if you've got like a personal trainer, it's the kind of thing like you're putting it on someone else to make your training plan, so you don't have to think about it. Well, it's the same. It's just, just do something on that day, and it's better than nothing. I then do kind of like scheduled runs, so these will be running club runs mostly. So these are on a Wednesday night, and whilst I may not go every single week, like just having something planned in there is as to what I aspire to do is quite nice. So I'm going to use the curve that I did in my easy runs, but instead of increasing the distance, I'm going to increase the pace, and I'm going to try and jump to a quicker paced group during kind of like the middle to end section of my kind of program or training block. And then that way I'm adding in a little bit of progression using pace instead of distance. So I'll jump up and try and do the 8:30 or the 8 group, and then drop back down to the 9s when just before the thing, the race. That's what it is. The club does also offer like workout runs like around the track and things, but during this block I'm going to kind of experiment a little bit, and I'm going to try and do my own workout runs and use their paced runs to try and increase like threshold runs, so doing longer time over, because the club workouts do vary quite a lot. So sometimes there are 5k ones, sometimes there are 10k ones, sometimes they're like marathon work, so you never really know. And also like, I don't know, just doing workouts during the night, like it just feels so like ugh. I don't know. I don't want to like rock up somewhere at like 7 p.m. at night and then have to do like 2 kilometer repeats. I'd much rather do that during the day and not have to do it around the track. But that's my opinion. So obviously you might, I do quite like doing track workouts. It's just at the moment I want to try and do it on my own, see if I can actually stick to them and do them. And then hopefully I'll be back on the track when I don't have so much of a pressing training plan to do. I then plan out my longer runs. So these are going to follow a curve again, but it's going to be a little bit flatter because I already know I can run a half marathon. So I don't need to kind of do that gradual rise up. I can just kind of keep it just hovered nice and flat. So we're going to go from 16 kilometers to about 21 kilometers. And instead of increasing the distance too much, I'm going to try and dial in on that half marathon pace. So doing blocks within those runs where I'm doing it at pace. Maybe that's 2 kilometers at pace, maybe that's 5 kilometers at pace, maybe that's 10 kilometers at pace. Hopefully then I can just work around that pace, know how it feels within myself, and just get some effort in, really. So then I've got one final day to plan, and as I've already just mentioned, this will be my workout / interval style run for every single week. I'm going to do that on a Monday, just kind of get it done first thing we start the week with. I'm going to experiment a little bit with the workout, so I don't really know what kind of work will work best for me or things like that, so I have just kind of plonked them in. We've got long intervals, we've got short intervals, we've got a mix of everything, and I'm just going to see what I like, what I don't like, you know. Sometimes intervals can be quite a lot of fun because you get to change your pace and you don't have to think about the whole run every single time. You just think about the section you're on, which is quite nice. So maybe you think about the 400 meters you're running quite fast, and then you think about like the 3 minutes rest. You don't think about like, oh, I'm doing this amount of time, and you still kind of have those thoughts, but you are more focused within those blocks. It does help just dial it in and get towards those pace goals instead of thinking, oh, I've got to do 9 more kilometers after this. So that's how I plan my weeks. Do you guys do it any differently? I don't plan out every single training week. I do roughly just do a rough schedule. So this day I'll do this run, this day I'll do that run, when I'm not in a training block. But when I am in a training block, I do try to be quite specific and be like, this is what I'm doing here, this is what I'm doing here, this is what I'm doing here. And then granted, I won't do every single run that I've put on this plan. This is just what I'd like to do, what I aspire to do. My aim is to hit at least 40 kilometers every single week. And some of these weeks do build up to about 55 kilometers, which seems pretty far at the moment. But hopefully they'll get me towards that goal of a sub 100-minute half marathon. If not, I'll have to try again later. So happy running, everyone.